it's a shame of how we define big in the business. I would have to say, in this case, there was a man who had murdered 28 boys. That had somehow, that 28 young men had gone missing from one neighborhood, had somehow escaped the chief of police notice that they had gone missing over a period of 2 years, because many of them were runaways. They were teenage boys. And this was a man who had taken these boys and performed hideous and horrible acts on them while they were alive, and then cut them up and buried them. And he had 2 young boys who helped him. And as this story began to break, I was the chief correspondent on it for our station, and the network began to pick us up every night and carry, my coverage of it. It's nothing that you ever want to think about. You certainly don't want it in your dreams. And then all of a sudden the whole National Press Corps descended on Houston, and that's when they discovered that we had access to the police files then in Houston. It was back then, what can I tell you? I mean, we could go through the homicide files. We could go through the police files. They got along with us. We got along with them in some sort of working order. Once this story happened and the national press began to discover this access, of course that access was shut down for us and for them forever. After that, we never had that kind of access again. And the mayor and the chief of police basically took the attitude, who are all these Yankees? And what are they doing in my town? And why are they asking all these questions? So I guess maybe that's a terrible thing to say, that the tragic and sad death of 28 young men was the biggest story you ever covered. I would love that you covered while you were in Houston. I would love to tell you that it was Steven Spielberg finding a bum to play in Sugarland Express. Mostly what I covered was murder.